Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Now today we're doing a bit of a mega haul. There's a lot of techie gadget items and some of them are just things to make your life a little bit simpler, all in the kitchen. These are all kitchen based items. And the first item I'm doing is a citrus juicing machine. Why am I doing this first? Well, I've actually been in hospital and you get instructions, it's USB-C, but let's go back to what I was saying. I've been in hospital. I don't know how well you can see on my arm there. Is it going to focus? I've got a lovely bruise there. That's where they put cannula in. Because about a month ago I was diagnosed with a kidney stone. I had a CT scan and there was a kidney stone that is technically small enough that it should pass. That's their words. It should pass, 70% chance of it passing. But even if it does pass by itself, it will be extremely uncomfortable at different stages as it goes through the system. It goes through the kidneys, now I think it's the urethra, into the bladder, and then the bladder, and then out. Last week it started hurting again because I had a couple of weeks when there was no pain. I thought, oh, it's gone, brilliant, it's gone. I didn't even notice it passing. Nah. I started getting pain again. Not terrible. I was still working with it, but then the other night, I woke up not long after midnight, and wow. Now I've broken about 10 or 11 bones. I can't remember exactly because I broke 7 in my foot in one go. I think it was 7 or 8. I've dislocated my knee. I'm pretty accident prone. The pain that I was feeling the other night, I've never felt pain like it in my life. It is the worst pain I've ever felt. And I had to wake my daughter up and say, you need to run me down to A&E. I can't cope with this. Why didn't I wake my wife up? Well, she was already in hospital because she's currently waiting for an operation to have her gallbladder removed. Because she's got gallstones that led to pancreatitis. So we were both in hospital. And yeah, I've been kind of struggling the last week. I was given cannula, put in little needles, and then the thing, they took bloods to make sure my kidneys and everything were working alright. But they gave me morphine. Anyone who's had morphine is pretty good stuff. It made me feel a bit, hey, ooh, everything was spinning. But it did take the pain away for a while. But unfortunately, because they said that it's still, basically this is it moving through the system, it's now got to a further part. It's probably it going through a narrow part. As it gets to narrow parts, it will hurt because your kidneys and your muscles around it are basically contracting constantly to try and push it through because it's not designed to take solids. So yeah. So basically, I've not been feeling too great lately. I don't feel too great today. I should be at work. I couldn't go to work. I've been up all night again with pain, drinking loads to try and flush all this through, peeing loads. And then the pain just comes in waves. At the moment, it's not too bad. I'm doing the video, but I'll do it in between having to run to the toilet. So, that's enough of that. So why am I doing the juicer first? Well, apparently, putting fresh lemon into water and drinking it daily is a very good way of reducing the risk of developing further kidney stones. I found that information on various websites, including kidney, related websites. So it seems to be legit. So I thought I wasn't going to do this kitchen haul yet, but I thought it's a perfect time to do it. Oh, there it does. Right, that comes off. That should come out. So for cleaning, it comes apart. That actually looks decent. And then you pop it back on now. And then click it in place, push that down, make sure it's on there. Yeah, you just push that down, make sure it's on the thing. And then that goes in the top. And again, screws in. And then when you power it on, what happens is this comes up. This bit at the bottom will come up and it squeezes the fruit, and obviously the juice forms, and then... Ah, that's what that is. I thought, hang on a bit, the juice is just going to come out. That's what that is. So you've got to put that on yourself. My eyes are really bad today as well, because when I'm tired, I've not slept much at all. I slept a little bit on the sofa, sitting up. I don't know how well that's going to actually stop the juice coming out. I don't think that is. But we will see. I've got a feeling that might leak, so I'm going to get a plate. We've got our lemons. Has this got any power? So as far as I know, that goes on now. Yeah, you put the fruit on now. Put this in. Lock it in place. You ready? Let's see what happens. Right, hang on. So it says, press and hold for 5 seconds to turn on. Press again. Right, okay. Finished? After that lemon, yeah, not a lot. There's still a lot of lemon in there, but I think the problem is it can't get in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut that just so. Coop, shush, good boy. It can actually open that up and hopefully get some more juice out there. So I think it's not leaking, so it is actually doing a good job of that. Right, let's see what happens this time. That got a lot more juice. That did get a lot more juice, so first time, yeah, I think you've got to give it a fair chance. I will say, it doesn't sound the most powerful though, does it, when it gets to the top? But yeah, that is much better. So if you've got something that's small, lime, lemon, cut it so it can actually get all the way in there. Let's see how much lemon we get out of this one. You know what? That's not bad. It doesn't sound the most powerful, and I don't know how long it's going to last. And yeah, you could just buy one of them hand squeezers, but I'm lazy. Glass. There we go. Let's pop the glass over here and see how well this works. And there you go. I've got my lemon juice. Well, that works. That works. Right, we are going to do one more thing, because I want to know if it'll do these giant oranges. Now, I don't know if these are going to be too big. No, it should fit. So let's try it and do one of these giant oranges and see how much juice we get out of it. I'm not doing, I'm not my usual self. So I do apologise if people are watching this and thinking, yeah, he's being a bit weird today. Yeah, one, I'm on cocodamol, and it makes me a little bit. And two, I'm really not feeling great. So I do apologise if the channel or if the video is not my usual self. Now, can we actually even get that on there? Yes, we can. That's on. Now let's see what it makes. And in fact, let's see if it's got enough power to do this orange, shall we? let's see actually how much juice is left. That's not bad. That's done a pretty good job actually. It does sound like it struggles though. But right, let's have some orange and lemon, because that lemon is very sharp. That's not bad. That's half an orange, and that's, yeah. That's actually quite nice. That might be my daily routine. Okay, for this next one, it's not quite my fault, because I'll show you that in a minute. Anyway, let's pretend this is a can of, say, rum and coke or Jack Daniels or a small beer. Okay, it's a 330ml, and in some places you can get little beers in these cans. But you're going to an event and it's alcohol free. You're not allowed in. Well, AliExpress have got you covered. Now, I thought when I ordered this it said Fanta. It doesn't. It says faint orange. And you've got like a fake, you know, your nutritional information on the side. And basically all it does is it goes over the can, like so. And then you can sort of take your beer or your rum and coke, your Jack Daniels, whatever, into the event that doesn't allow alcohol. Now, okay, I suppose if you hold it a certain weight, yeah, it kind of does look like you're just carrying a can of orange, you know, drink. But if anyone actually looks at the name and they say, oh, you're drinking a can of faint, you're going to get caught out. Also, the bottom of it is just a bit loose. Could that work? Has anyone used one of these to take alcohol into an event where it's, you know, alcohol's banned? Let me know, because I think that's actually quite funny. But I don't know how useful it would be. But then I suppose, you know, if people are checking in, thousands of people to an event, are they really going to be that concerned to look closely at a can of drink? You might get away with it. Next, I'm not going to show this being tested, but I thought this was actually quite clever. It is a like spatula for turning burgers and things, fried eggs, whatever, but you can also hold it. So while you're turning it, because the amount of time my wife cooks fish, she does cod, batters it herself and that, and does it. But when she's trying to flip it and turn it, the amount of times it ends up breaking up, because obviously fish becomes flaky. This, I'm hoping, it's not the strongest, but it should just support it enough to be able to flip it. So I actually thought that's like it's cheap. I thought that was quite a good idea. Next, as I say, these are not all tech related. Some of them are just, I just thought they were useful for the kitchen. And this is just your burger cheese. You know, the plastic, what we call plastic cheese, because it's like, it feels plasticky when you get it out of the oven. The orange cheese that you get in your Big Macs and things. This is just a little container for those. Because we find that we put them in the drawer in the fridge, in the bottom of the fridge, and then once we've opened the packet gets ripped. They end up going everywhere. So I thought that, keep them nice and neat. Next, we have a wireless whisk. Now we've got a whisk, obviously. Most people have a whisk in your kitchen. Ours plugs in, and the plug is the length of the cable is not very long, and it can be quite annoying. Now, another annoying thing is, I've double checked. I selected the black one. They've sent me like a creamy white one. And I did check my order. I ticked black. It said black, wireless whisk. Or cordless whisk. No, wireless. It does say wireless. Okay, so you get USB-C. 2 little whisks. And you get the unit itself. Now, okay, so this, I'm guessing, just clicks in. Yeah. Bit silly. You turn it on one, it goes on one speed. 2-speed, 3-speed. But you got to turn. Does it? Yeah, it turns it off. You can't just go up a speed without turning it off. And I'm not going to see that. That is the littest bloody writing in the world. I don't think I'll see that in the glasses on. Alright, forget that. And then they just pull out. It's just like a rubberized or plastic kind of cross section in there where they plug it, where they slot in. So obviously you got your bigger one. Yeah, each time you turn it off and then turn it back on again, it goes to the next setting. There's no way of actually... You hold it in, does it go up? No. Yeah, I mean, it will work, but it's not the most intelligent way of doing it, because usually with a whisk, what you want to do is put it in slow and then speed it up. So you don't put, you know, whatever you're mixing everywhere. But if it turns off every time, and then, you know, you want it up to maximum speed, it's going to start from sort of 0 again. You want to build the speed up slowly, and you can't do that. Not quite as useful as I thought, but it will still probably do the job. This looks like kind of like a comb or a nick comb or something, but it's not. Excuse me, I've drunk way too much today. What it actually is, you stab something like potato, carrot, tomato, whatever, and then you can cut. Now, I did buy something similar, but it was plastic. And it basically just held it, and then you kind of cut through the slits. But because it was plastic, it moved as you cut, and as you tried to hold things. This, you can actually stab, and then you get pretty much perfect cuts. Oh, make sure I put it back in there. You get a nice little heart, so you can show that, you know, your kitchen utensils, they love you. Now this, believe it or not, you look at that and you think it's just another whisk attachment for the other one. No, it's not. This is a whisk attachment that basically goes into your drill. So if you've got a drill, cordless drill, whatever, and you want to do some whisking with it, for the kitchen, it's not like whisking cement or anything, it is a kitchen utensil. You can plug it into your drill. And I thought, I'm going to buy it just to see. And it's not, it's just a normal one. It's got the same two little things. This would probably plug into that other one, because it's got the same two things. And it has not got the kind of hexagonal shape that goes into a drill bit that it grips onto. So it's not made for a drill at all. It's just a standard bloody thing. And they're saying, oh, this is for a drill. And not being funny, I drill into a lot of different things. Concrete, wood, metal. And your drill gets dusty, you know. Are you really going to want to put this in your drill, put it over a bowl of, I don't know, you're making scrambled eggs, or you're making an omelette, or whatever. An omelette? Not an omelette, I meant pancakes. You know, you want to mix up your batter. You're going to hold your drill above it. Use this. Some of that dust and crap is going to fall in. That's not a good idea. I bought it just to see whether it was actually designed for a drill. It's not, it's just a standard one. That's not a great idea, in my opinion. Next, some clips, food bag clips. Now, bought 3, already using one because the dog's on some dry food. He's also been in the vets this week, so 3 of us in this house are poorly at the moment. He's had quite bad stomach problems and I had to spend the night in the vets. But these are just food clips. They do small ones and big ones. We went for the bigger ones because I think they're more useful. With these little silly faces. You know, so it's sort of like smiling at you. And I thought, you know, yeah, it's quite cute, only cheap. It comes with 2 little stickers, and it falls off within seconds. So they are absolutely useless, because the problem is, there's a lip all the way round. So when you press it on, it's not getting a really good firm contact, and it just gets pushed off. Yeah, the one on the food bag, it slid off within a matter of time. But as actual food clips to go on the bag, keep it sealed, or keep it reasonably tight, because we always lose peas in the freezer. You end up with millions of peas in the bottom of your freezer drawer because they come out of the bag. They're pretty good. As for the faces, I'd use some double-sided sellotape or something if you really wanted them on there. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I've got some really good Gorilla double-sided tape, permanent tape, and that's what I'll probably stick on, and they should be fine. But yeah, again, useful in the kitchen. Not really techie gadgety. I do apologise for that, but not everything can be. As my wife said, I'm going to run out of tech eventually. It'll never happen, but I do need to watch my bank balance, especially at the moment. I'm not working, being self-employed, I'm not earning. Hence why I'm trying to get another video out, because I do earn a few quid from ad revenue, and it is literally a few quid at the moment. This is a cutter and peeler. Now, I'm really not sure how this is a peeler. And there's nothing here, unless it's that, which is just plastic. You surely wouldn't use that as a peeler. There's no peeling blade. What about if you close it? Is there anything else that comes out? No. I don't think this is a peeler. There's have bloody carrots in the fridge, but we ain't got any. But we have got a cucumber. So let's see if it will do. Cucumber. We've got half a cucumber. Right, and then so what, you put it in there. There. Ah, for God's sake. Does it say cucumber on the bloody box? Yep, cucumber. It says cucumber. There's a picture of a cucumber, and I think it says it as well. It doesn't. It says ladyfingers. Carrots and bananas. So if that's as wide as it goes, that's close, but not quite close enough. Okay. We'll give it a fighting chance. We'll cut a bit down. I've just cut through it. Idiot. And then see if it will go in now. Not that way. Where'd it go in? Come on. There we go. Right, we're in. Okay, we are in. And then you just basically squeeze. Oh, okay. Wow, they're actually sharper than what I thought. There you go. You've got your slices. Okay, will be interesting to see if it's powerful enough to do carrot, but that went through that really easily. That might actually be alright. Next, a very beat up box. And this is an apple peeler. It says it does other fruit as well, but it's mainly an apple peeler. Now I'm really hoping this ain't broke, because this box is probably one of the worst I've seen for a long time from any of the companies I order from. Okay, look at that. That is your apple peeler. Oh, that's how you push the apple off, I take it. And as you spin it, that goes. And that's obviously spring loaded, so that stays on and you've got your blade. Does it come with any instructions? No, it doesn't. They're on the box, but the box is so bad. Right, so you take... Right, that's meant to be on there. Okay, so it protects the blade. But there's also meant to be one, that one. That goes on there. So, right. Okay. Now, how do you put that back to the start? I guess they're, I don't know. So yeah, so you've got to take them off first. They were already off because they'd come off in the box, which I'm not surprised. The box was absolutely crap. So then you stick your apple on the end. Again, that's a bit stupid because you've got to try and get that out of the way and then push your apple on. Okay, the apple is on. Let's just see how it does, shall we? I'm going the wrong way because I want to get back to the start. Right, there we go. Let's see how it does. Oh God. Okay, oh, you've got to push that over. Okay, it didn't do bad. It's shit. Okay, we've now got a very bruised apple. It didn't do bad actually. It's very clunky. It's not smooth. You know, it's not probably the sharpest blade. I'm not going to test it. The only bit it struggled on was that bit because there's a bruise. But yeah, it kind of does what it says it does. It just seems like a big chunky thing for doing something as simple as peeling an apple. But it does work. And also, like, cleaning it's going to be a bugger. When you just peel an apple, usually if I'm going to peel an apple, I'll use a knife. But yeah. It works. It also makes a mess. Next, again, I know a lot of these things are not actual tech. This is something that we kind of need. Because we struggle with portion sizes when it comes to the spaghetti, dry spaghetti. Now this is supposed to be airtight. Oh, that does screw on, okay, so it wasn't screwed on. I wouldn't believe it's airtight. Because that's quite loose on the top. It's not airtight. It's not airtight at all. That is, yeah, that's very rattly. In fact, it doesn't even look like it's on properly. So it's not going to be airtight to keep your spaghetti in, but then once it's open, it's not airtight in the bag anyway. But yeah, basically, you've got two portion sizes. 2 people, I'm guessing 2 people and 1 people. 1 people. 1 person. So you shouldn't cook too much pasta. Too much spaghetti. Yeah, 2 and 1. So I thought that might come in handy for us because we always end up cooking way too much spaghetti. Next, we have a stainless steel grinder. Now, this is a 2-in-1. So this will do. Just take that off. Get that off. So you've got 2 compartments, and it will do pepper and salt, or you know, some people use like chili flakes and things in these, and then obviously you've got your 2 ends. So. Oh, we've got more plastic there. Oh. There we go, go around the edge. Right, got it. Now let's get some salt and pepper. Okay, so as you can see, we've now got some Himalayan pink sea salt and some peppercorns. And it basically, you've got your 2 compartments. So one end will be one end will be the other. Which is good, because I have actually currently got a 2-in-1. I've had to just nick the peppercorns out of it because I'm out of peppercorns. So then basically, obviously you know, one's salt, one's... Yeah, so with this one, you turn it one way for salt, one way for pepper. And the problem is, if you turn it the wrong way, you get the thing you didn't want. And if you have people over, that would often happen. So with this one, you know because you turn it. So one way, peppercorns, one way is salt. So you want salt, you turn it that way. You want the pepper, you turn it that way. But let's actually see how it does. So let's turn that quite fine. There is some sea salt on that. Now let's turn it to coarser. So we adjust that. And then turn it again. And you can see, hopefully anyway, we've now got some much coarser salt. So that works absolutely fine. Ah, that's bloody good, isn't it? Just noticed, don't know how well you'll see that, there's a small little dent at the top here. Again, you know, the box that this came in was pretty battered as well. It's going to live in the cupboard, I'm not really too bothered, but it's not great, is it? When you buy something new and it comes dented. Okay, we've got a couple more things. Again, one's just escaped. This one, quite simply, is a microwave splash guard, and it pops up hopefully higher than that. Is that as high as it goes, or does it pop up again? That's got to pop up again, surely. Yeah, it does. Okay. And yeah, it's just a microwave splash guard. Because if you cook anything liquid, like soups or anything in a microwave, I say cook, warm them up, you get the splatters all over the top of the microwave. Pain in the behind. That should eliminate that. It's got holes in it for the steam to escape, but most of your splatter should end up in that. And that will be easy to wash up and then easy, hopefully, to store. Yeah, it folds down alright. And it pops out, alright. I think it was just a bit stiff being the first time. Yeah, so that'll come in handy. A lot of these products are handy today rather than, you know, silly gadgets that I normally buy. Okay, next, what is this? This is, they advertise it as a magic. On here it says pot brush with handle, brown. But on the website it calls it a magic eraser for the bottom of your pots. You know they go all brown and everything. You know, this is supposed to clean them up. Oh, that's rough. It's also good for exfoliating your skin. But yeah, this is supposed to clean up the bottom of your pans. We'll have a go over that later and bring them back looking like new. We'll see. It's just a scouring pad really, but we'll see how well it does. Next, I think we're going to do one more thing. No, we've got two more things. And the last one is tech. And this one looks like a little frog, doesn't it? They're a bit. Just making me a coding brain at the moment. It's a spoon. It goes, actually, yeah, it goes on the top of your saucepan. So let's pretend this is a saucepan. Yeah, you're cooking, you're stirring with your spoon, and then quite often if you leave the spoon in, it will melt where it touches. Or if it's plastic, it will melt. If it's wood, it will start to go black. It will char. This is just simply goes on side of your saucepan, and then you put your spoon in there like that. Yes, this is a knife, and yes, this is not a saucepan, but use your imagination. I might show it later on an actual saucepan if you're lucky, but I doubt it. Yeah, I think, again, that's just a good little device to have in the kitchen. I know you can put your spoon on the side, you can have a little plate or something, but if you're limited for storage, or you're going to be constantly stirring every few minutes because whatever it is that you're cooking is going to burn, that is a good place to have your spoon. It's far enough away from the heat that it shouldn't be affected. I wonder if you've got the heat up maximum on the hob, whether it would get hot. That will be something I'll test out later. When I cook, or whatever I have for tea later, or we have for tea. Got to cook for the kids, haven't you? But yeah, that will be useful, I think, for saving spoons from melting. And so that brings us on to our last item, which is, it says meat grinder, but it's actually like a food processor. I'm hoping anyway that it doesn't just do meat. That was the one I was doing cutting with. That's the one I'm opening boxes with. So you're getting instructions. Let's have a quick look at what it's saying now. So meat, you've got pork, beef, and then onion, garlic, peppers, carrots, tomatoes, vegetables. Tells you what size to cut them into. Vegetables cut into 3 centimetre lengths. Carrot cut into 2 centimetre lengths. Isn't that the idea of this? Isn't this supposed to do the cutting? Dry bread. If you want to do breadcrumbs, you can do breadcrumbs. And then ham and sausage. Cut each piece into 3 or 4 sections. Why would you chop up a sausage? But anyway, it does come with some decent instructions, and they are all English, so it's not like one of them multi, languages. That is all English. Comes with that. Okay, so that's the unit itself. Actually, you know what? That don't look too bad. Got 1 and 2, possibly 2 speeds. Let's get some of this out. Then we've got, what's that? We've got obviously polystyrene. It's well packaged. I'll say that it is well packaged. Get out of the way. You've got one of them like spatula knives, so you can scrape if you've got like meat or vegetables around the side of the plastic, or I'm guessing it's plastic. No. Okay, that's probably to get all your pips and crap. It's glass. Wow, that's why it's packaged well. It is actually glass. That's not going to stay there. Okay, so very confused. That's your blade element, obviously. So you've got 4 blades, and they have got these guards on. I'm guessing these are, they're sharp. They're sharp. Now, if you remember, I bought that little tiny mini chopper, and we do use it, but it's tiny. You've got to, basically, you can't get much in there at a time, but it does work. It still works to this day really well. So that will go on there. That will go on there. Blade sits in there, so you can do its spinny thing. This goes on now. Does it clip on? I'm not sure if that should clip on, but it doesn't. It's bigger. That's it. And that will go on top, like so. And then the weight of it actually, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? That almost looks professional. It's 300 watts. I don't know much about food processors, whether that's good or bad. And the annoying thing is, I ain't got much to put in it, but we have got potatoes. So let's see what it does with potatoes, because they're hard. Okay, so I've just chopped up some potatoes. They're not overly big, I've just cut them in half. There's 3 potatoes. I know it says, chop it up to 2 centimetres and that. But these are a little bit bigger. We're not going to eat these, they've been in the cupboard for a little while. So you pop them in, pop that on top. Make sure it locks in place. There we go. And then let's see what happens. Turn it on for 1. Obliterated. Wow. Okay, there's a couple of big bits. That's actually, yeah, that's got stuck on the blade. That's why that one didn't get chopped. But I mean, let's take it off. Pop that back on now. There we go. Pop that back on now. Pop that back on now. There we go. Right, let's try 2. Wow. This is legit. There's a couple of bits at the bottom where they've got stuck under the blade, right? But if I remove those 2 bits, that has chopped that up really fine. So if you're doing soups and things and you just want to, like, you know, chop up some carrots, some onions, some, you know, potatoes, whatever, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a legit meat. I know it says meat grinder, but I mean food processor, I'd call it. It seems powerful. It had no problem at all with those 3 potatoes I put in there. Yeah, it didn't struggle. Even though one of the potatoes got stuck on a blade, it still carried on going. That seems, and it is heavy, it seems an actual decent bloody device. So I know this video, it wasn't as techy as normal. But it's not easy to buy a ton of techie things for the kitchen. I just wanted to do a kitchen video because there was a couple of things I wanted. I wanted the juicer. That was before this kidney problem. I wanted a juicer. I've got quite a lot of good tech stuff coming up. So yeah, please, if you like this video, I know it is different than usual, but if you do like it, please give it a like. It really does help, and I can do it for all the help. I need all the help I can get at the moment. That's it. If you've got any comments, got any questions, any suggestions, please drop them. If you've got any remedies, you know, whether it's an old wives' tale or whether it's scientific fact, whatever, if you've got any remedies to help reduce the risk of me getting kidney stones in the future, if you've had them and you've done something and now you've never had them again, please let me know, because I'll do pretty much anything not to go through this again. And if you do want to see the upcoming actual tech videos, or genuine tech videos, please subscribe, because they will be coming up soon. I can't do it. I can't really go out at the moment because I need to be near the toilet. I am drinking and peeing and drinking and peeing and drinking and peeing. So all I'm going to really be doing is, while I'm not in agony, videos. So yeah, there will be a lot coming out. Hopefully, a lot coming out. But that does it for this one. I hope you still enjoyed it. I hope you still found it informative, and I hope there's a few things here that appeal to you and that you might actually have in your kitchen. I've got to find space for some of this stuff now. Yes. But for this video, I am done. I hope to see you all very, very soon in the next one, guys, and I hope to be feeling better in the next one as well. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now, guys.